Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Tunkhannock area softball. Joining us is the head coach, John Keefe. Well, John, a good year so far for Tunkhannock. You had the high expectations. The girls are getting out there and they're playing some good softball.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with our outcome so far. We had some, in spite of the cold weather, we've been playing very well.
Well, John, it usually starts with some pitching. Tell us about how you're getting the job done on the mound this year for the Tigers.
Number one pitcher there in Smith, and she's throwing outstanding. We've told the team that if we can score 5 runs, we have a 95% chance that we're going to win the game, because Aaron usually is holding everybody, to 3-4 runs.
And Aaron's already committed to Bloomsburg and a 4-year starter, Coach. That always helps.
Yeah, she pitched. We had Jamie Hampsey, and Inman, for 2 years when she was a freshman and sophomore. So she didn't pitch much. And last year as a junior, she pitched half times with Gilpin, and then this year she's pitched everything so far. And she's done a whale of a job.
Coach, you returned 6 starters from last year, and of course made it to the district semifinals. Some good competition in AAA, no doubt about it. But let's talk about some of these starters that come back. First, let's start in the infield, Coach. Who's playing some good softball for you, whether it's defensively or with their bat this year?
We have probably the key to us is our senior first baseman, Taylor Hedgety, and then the other corner, the senior third baseman, is Ashley Knott. They're solid on defense in the corner, playing the bunt, and they're hitting the ball quite well. They're both hitting over 300. So the middle infielders, Molly Hampsey and Tracy Cromko. Tracy's our shortstop. They're 1-2 in our batting order, and the infield, if there's an error, it is a rarity. We're playing very good infield defense, and those 4 are just hitting the lights out.
So Aaron Smith, the senior pitcher, getting some great infield job by her defense. Of course, the infielders playing fantastic. Oh, Coach, you always need a couple of outfielders in case they hit it out there. Tell us about how the bats are with your outfielders and what kind of experience you have out there. Do you have some girls with experience, or do you have some young ladies, underclassmen?
We have a senior right fielder, Michelle Goodwin, and she's hitting over 300, and she sort of holds down the outfield because my center fielder is a junior who has stepped up this year and plays, into a starting role, and she ranges very good. Carly Bulford, and she's done a great job for us on defense. She's getting to a lot of stuff that we haven't gotten to in the past at front center. And then the left field is a sophomore, Kaylee Raposa, and she was an infielder the previous years in junior high and as a freshman. And with the infield that we have, she saw the writing on the wall that she wasn't going to get into the starting rotation anytime soon. So she's transferred herself and made herself into a very solid left fielder, and again, she's hitting over 300.
John Keefe, head coach, Tunkhannock Area Lady Tigers softball, here of the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. They have locations in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Kingston, Hazleton, and Williamsport. Coach, when you talk about the play and the teams that you match up against in the Wyoming Valley Conference, no matter what happens when districts come around, I think you'll be ready to go because there's some sharp teams out there.
Yeah, we've the Wyoming Valley Conference is absolutely tough, and in our division, we sort of beat each other up. My coaches and I were talking the other day that we usually end with like a 10-4, 9-5 record. It just seems to be that's the way we end up, and I mean, we lost to Wyoming area, who's just tough as nails with us. We beat Nanticoke, we beat Crestwood, which first time we beat Nanticoke in 8 years, I think it was.
Wow.
And, we haven't played Dallas yet. We got 2 games with Dallas, one to make up and one in the second half. And then we have to play Lehman, who, they play us hard. They, they get up for us. And let's see, Wyoming area, Dallas, Lehman. Oh, Berwick. Oh, how could I forget Berwick?
Coach, how could you forget Berwick?
I like to try to forget Berwick. Let's put it that way. But they, again, our games with Berwick are very seldom is it more than a 2-run difference. And I sort of like to joke that my hair is pure white, and before I started playing the Berwicks and the Dallases and the, Crestwoods and the Nanticoke, I had brown hair. But, one other thing, John, I want to touch up base with my catcher, too. She's a first-time catcher. In the past years, I've had a catcher for like 3-4 years in a row, and I haven't had to worry about it too much. And this year I had a junior, Lindsay Kwiatkowski, step in, and she's not only playing a super job behind the plate, but I think she's hitting over 400 for us. So
wow.
We have a team batting average of 400. So I'm pretty pleased with how practices are going and the attitude of the kids. It's not always the same kids we have to count on. If somebody is down, a few others pick it up. So
a different young lady stepping up in Tunkhannock area for a very successful season, and they hope they continue it in the month of May. Tunkhannock area softball here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.